learn more about the 17-year-old shot and killed by Finley police, what the autopsy report is revealing tonight. And 6 days until the election, on the ballot, a Finley City schools levy. The superintendent tells us what could happen if the levy doesn't pass.
A cold front on the move is going to bring rain chances back on Halloween. Windy weather and warm conditions. Will it bring wet weather toward trick or treat time? I'll have the full hour-by-hour breakdown in my forecast coming up.
Welcome into WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Kaylee Maritet. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday night. Let's take a look at your top stories. We start with an update to an investigation involving a juvenile who died after being shot by a Finley police officer. The Finley police chief tells WTOL 11 two patrol officers are on, quote, paid critical incident leave status as a result of the incident. The names of the officers have not been released. An autopsy was done on the victim, 17-year-old Calvin Darapith. The Lucas County coroner says he died from multiple gunshot wounds and his death has been ruled a homicide. Police say officers responded to Bernard Park Monday for a report of 3 teens drinking alcohol. When officers arrived, one of the teens ran off and officers pursued. Police claim that during the foot pursuit, the teen fired a shot at the officer, then officers returned fire. Police say a handgun was recovered from the area. We'll make sure to keep you updated on air and online. We're learning new information tonight after a deadly shooting on Twining Street earlier this month. Court documents obtained by WTOL 11 show the victim, 42-year-old Rashad Ewing, was in a legal battle with the alleged shooter, Fabian Duro. Ewing tried to sue Duro for $6,000 last December over claims his vehicle was returned with new issues after being serviced at Duro's shop. A judge couldn't hear the case in May because a bailiff couldn't serve the paperwork to the suspect. Court records show Ewing is accused of pulling up to Duro's in a vehicle that he believed wasn't correctly fixed. The two exchanged words before Duro ultimately shot and killed Ewing. A trial date has been set for Dale Warner. He's accused of killing his wife, Dee Warner. In court today, a judge announced his trial will run from September 2nd through October 14th of next year. A final pre-trial conference is set for August. This comes almost 5 months after a judge determined there was enough evidence for the case to go to trial after a preliminary examination. Dee's body was found on Dale's property in August. Dee's brother says alongside the criminal case, the family is pursuing civil litigation against the Warner family. Ohio State Highway Patrol released dash and body cam footage which shows a driver getting caught after being accused of leading troopers on a high-speed chase from Cleveland to Sandusky County.
You're gonna get tased! You're gonna get tased! Taser, taser, taser! Stay on the ground!
According to an OSHP report, the driver fled from troopers on I-90. The driver was later spotted on the turnpike but drove off again. The report shows the driver was seen at least going 80 miles per hour. The driver behind the wheel eventually stopped after his tires deflated. That's when he ran off. A trooper chased that person and warned them they're going to be tased. The driver was tased and taken into custody. The results of the Ohio Department of Health's annual unintentional drug overdose report has been released. Governor DeWine says there was a 9% decrease in overdose deaths. This marks the second year in a row that overdose deaths have gone down. The Ohio Department of Health has increased the number of free naloxone kits being given out across the state. 291,000 of them were given out just last year.
These kits are in fact saving lives. Last year alone, the Ohio Department of Health confirmed more than 20,000 overdoses were reversed with the naloxone obtained through our administration's Project Dawn.
The governor says Ohio has been a leader in providing expanded access to naloxone. The state is also expanding access to treatment and recovery services. The Crown Battery plant in Fremont contributes to the manufacturing industry for the state. Crown Battery has been around for more than 80 years and opened its doors in 1926. U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown was there today touring the plant. During the visit, the head of the Export-Import Bank of the United States was also there, and the focus was on outsourcing of jobs to foreign countries.
My job, if they call me and say, we got this problem with a foreign country that's not been so fair with our products, we go to bat for them. It might be a trade enforcement issue. It might be just some bureaucratic thing and the Export-Import Bank can help with.
We're not that big.
The Crown Battery Plant helps supply batteries for the railroad industry, underground mining equipment, steel mills, and more. The Gorham Township Fire Department in Fulton County is hoping voters will approve a levy for more money. But what does that actually mean for the area? Dominique O'Neill has more on what the money is going towards and what could be at stake.
Here in Fayette, the Gorham Fayette Fire Department says they need this levy to pass so they can maintain things like fire equipment and also staffing. The Gorham Fayette Fire Department is seeking a new 5-year, 3-meal levy on the November 2024 general election ballot. Issue 8 is a proposed property tax levy, and the fire department says the previous levy ran out and didn't get placed on a previous ballot, so the department has been without the additional money for all of 2024. This levy would be an additional $30 for the owner of a $100,000 home.
Well, we really need this levy to pass is because, you know, being small town department and that, you got to have funds to run. Well, if we don't have the funds to run and keep going, we can't help you if you can't help us.
Frank says the levy would especially be used to help pay for resources such as fire trucks and training.
Our biggest issue is keeping our trainings and that up, because there's a cost to that. When we take new members on, we got to pay for their training and stuff, and also how to get them to the classes and that. We pay for all that. And so, yeah, the cost is tight for us, and it's going to be real tight if the levy don't pass.
And it's a big expense to keep things going with the cost of equipment, replacing the equipment, maintaining the equipment.
Some longtime residents WTOL 11 spoke to seem in favor of issue 8.
Without a good fire department, you don't have a good town. You have to have the fire department for the rescue squad and also for the fire. We need it badly.
Well, I think we pay enough taxes, but this is important. It's to save people's lives. So if it can help, let's do it.
Reporting in Fayette, Dominique O'Neill, WTOL 11.
We're less than a week away from Election Day. We're highlighting a hot ballot item for people living in Finley, the Finley City Schools proposed levy. In place of the usual proposed property tax, which Finley voters have rejected time and time again, the district is offering up a 1% income tax. The school district hasn't seen a levy pass since 2004. That's 20 years ago. And if this one doesn't pass in November, there could be some serious cuts down the line.
The first round of cuts would have to be about $5 million. 20 to 25 teachers, 4 or 5 administrators, 25 supplemental positions, maybe considering half-day kindergarten.
The income tax does not affect Social Security, pensions, IRAs, disability, or alimonies. Voters are heading out to the polls in Lucas County to vote early. Deputy Director of Lucas County Board of Elections, Tim Monaco, says this week has been extremely busy. A line of voters wrapped around the building earlier today. Monaco says the Board of Elections does not provide wait times for voters. Some voters say they waited more than 45 minutes just to get inside, but many told WTOL 11 they don't mind waiting when it comes to this. There were some first-time voters out saying they're excited to be voting in their first presidential election.
I think it's just, a good thing overall. Most younger people don't really care to do it, so doing something a little different.
Early voting is going on today until 7:30 p.m. People in Ohio can vote early today through Sunday or on Election Day. Well, have you seen businesses offering special incentives if you show off your I voted sticker? Our National Verify team explains why these Election Day deals might actually be illegal.
The I voted sticker is a quintessential part of the voting process in many places. It can also be your ticket to some great discounts and freebies at local businesses. But a Verify viewer sent us an example of one deal posted on Facebook and wants to know if they're actually legal. So let's verify. Our sources are the Federal Elections Commission, the California Secretary of State, the U.S. Code of Laws, and Richard Hassan with UCLA School of Law. A lot of these incentives seem innocent enough, like free donuts, pizza, or coffee to people with the sticker. But the Federal Elections Commission says it is a violation under the U.S. Code of Laws if a federal candidate is on the ballot. This is because federal law prohibits knowingly and willfully paying or offering to pay or accepting payment for voting. Violators can face a fine of up to $10,000 or 5 years in prison. So, no, it is not legal to offer discounts or freebies to voters in federal elections. But your favorite donut shop is probably not breaking the law. That's because as long as they offer the freebie to everyone, not just voters, they're in the clear. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
President Joe Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden are getting ready to welcome students and kids of service members to the White House. It's all in order to celebrate Halloween, even if it's a day early. The Bidens will be giving out candy to all trick-or-treaters, and they also will be giving kids a book. Well, if you want to celebrate Halloween a little early, you may want to head over to the University of Toledo. Kids are invited for some trick-or-treating, a costume contest, and autographs from the men's and women's basketball teams. This is for their annual Tricks, Treats, and Dunks event. It starts at the top of the hour at Savage Arena and goes until 8:30. Admission is free. Everyone is getting ready to turn the clocks back this weekend, but it's also a good time to test your smoke alarms. Red Cross volunteers in the northern Ohio region say they have responded to help 345 people affected by 86 house fires since the start of this month. So this weekend might be a good time to test your smoke detectors or replace those batteries if you need to. Chris?
Kelly, we did record a record high for the second straight day, upper 70s, right at 79 degrees, besting the old record, which was 77. Initially set back in 1971. Safe to say it was a warm and windy day yet again. And to get back-to-back days right around 80 degrees this time of the year, it is fairly rare territory. We continue to fall back, 70s across much of the area now. We'll dip back into the mid-60s overnight, but still, bottom line is it stays unseasonably warm as we go overnight tonight with a warmer breeze that will be with us. My attention, though, off to the west. Look well west of Chicago. This is over toward Iowa, northern Missouri. That is a cold front that's sparking up showers and storms. In fact, even the risk of strong to severe storms going to be likely late this evening, overnight across eastern Kansas into the state of Missouri, or where they could also be talking the threat of tornadoes here. Not for our area. It's not anything that's going to immediately impact us outside of windy weather overnight tonight. That front will roll into the area tomorrow. Watch temperatures overnight tonight. We're going to hold in the 60s, mid-60s as we go through daybreak tomorrow morning. Likely to start the day dry. So if the kids are headed out to school, they've got their costumes with them for some of the school Halloween parties. It is going to be a breezy start to the morning. So make sure they're all buttoned up and they're holding on to things very securely. Rain chance is going to roll in by about lunchtime, late morning, early afternoon. And we've been telling you all week, you've heard it here in the WTOL 11 weather forecast, that chance of rain not all that high through the course of the afternoon and evening on Thursday for Halloween. There will be some scattered showers, so yes, we are going to get some rain at some point. Could also include a rumble of thunder very briefly as that front approaches. Now here's the clock, 4 p.m. This is going to be toward the tail end of that rain threat. Winds are still going to be gusty, 35, 40, even up to 45 miles per hour. That front blasts through the area between 4 to 6 p.m. Starts to drop us back into the upper 60s toward trick-or-treat time. But once that front clears through, that's going to be the last of any rain chances. So we will be drying out as we get into trick-or-treat time. And as we've been saying, it's going to be a bit more of a treat for Halloween this year. Windy, but warm and drying out as we drop back through the mid-60s as we go after dark. So what to expect for Halloween? We start out very warm, mid-60s first thing in the morning. It will stay windy into the afternoon. Better chance of rain is going to be on and off into the afternoon. Highs in the mid-70s, and then we turn cooler, dropping back to the 60s as we go toward trick-or-treat time. Here's what we've got for that Halloween trick-or-treat outlook. Temperature-wise, we're going to be right around 66 at 6 p.m. Last chance we get a shower or two. We'll be out there between 6 to 7 p.m. east of I-75. 7 o'clock rolls around 64, 62 at 8 p.m. And it will be windy, gust of 30 to 40 miles per hour. 70s still for Thursday. It will be short of a record high. Back to the 50s Friday, 58 Saturday. It's going to be cool and dry.